What's up, everybody? Working out harder will not get you bigger gains, and here's why. So the sport of bodybuilding is coached in a way that's borderline insane if you think about it. So the answer is always do more, go harder, right? But any other sport doesn't approach it that way. So let's say, I don't know, if you follow Fußball, Barcelona, they go on the field and the coach says, hammer those balls, guys, hammer them. They're like, well, we should pass them so we can score a goal. They're like, just hammer them. So a few go in, but the rest goes wide. Wasted effort. Michael Phelps goes to the pool. Coach Baumann says, Michael, hammer the water as hard as you can. Because any stroke drills, any speed work, no, just hammer whatever you got. Will he win the Olympics? Maybe, because he's just that talented, but for the most part, it's wasted effort, okay? So that's bodybuilding for you. The answer is always like, do more, work harder. You're not working hard enough, you're pansy, squat, deadlift, bench press, you're not a man. That's why you're not getting anywhere. Use more drugs. But that doesn't work. That is completely stupid. That just leads to a few people for whom that actually works, and the rest is inflamed, injured, frustrated. Despite using drugs, it's always like pre-workout, painkillers, steroids, and they're still not getting anywhere. They're still not getting anywhere. So that is the first problem, misguided effort. The second problem is people have to accept that there's a learning curve, like any sport. You go to a Taekwondo center, right? They're going to give you a white belt, if that. They're not going to give you a black belt. You have to work your way up. You go fighting with the black belts, you're going to get your ass kicked, right? No questions asked. I used to teach skiing. Like, nobody goes up in Kitzbühel, like at the World Cup slope. No, absolutely not. You get a couple, bunny slopes, and then you get better. And at some point, you might do black diamonds, and then, hopefully, you can actually go racing. But you're not going to start there, because if you do that, you're going to break every bone in the body. Now, in the fitness world, it's like, dude, I joined the gym. Like, I'm good to go. Where's Phil Heath's workout? Where's The Rock's workout? I'm going. Okay, I'm wearing Arnold's shirt, so that's probably not the best for this video. But you get the point. So there's a learning curve. Execute exercises, activate the muscle. So you're like, all right, Mike, that was nice ranting, but what can I learn from this video? Well, there's a couple things. First of all, and this is a hard truth, accept that you don't know anything about weightlifting, right? Like, relearn, rethink everything. Secondly, think about forced versus guided effort. So instead of just like throwing stuff around, think about, what am I actually doing? What am I training? What does this muscle do? How do I shorten it so that I can actually, instead of like perceived effort, can actually accumulate tension, right? So I want to measure my workout in how many nearly perfect reps did I have? How good were my reps? As opposed to, yo bro, when beast mode I screamed, I almost puked. It's like, that's great, but that is not going to make you a better bodybuilder. That's going to get you inflamed and injured. So that matters. Then the next thing is, you have to understand what you're actually trying to do in terms of shortening the muscle as opposed to just moving stuff around. Then I can glance at my notes here, when I made this. It's also, like with anything, you should strive for mastery, right? So you write a novel, you're probably going to not so great at the beginning, and then you get better. So with each session, you want to be a little bit better. Like, oh yeah, I got those side raises. I really felt it here in the middle delt. You didn't use my front delt. So that's getting you somewhere. That's going to make you a better bodybuilder. Lifting heavy just to lift heavy, that's just dumb. I'm sorry, that's going to accomplish nothing. So if you keep working harder, you're just going to accumulate more garbage volume on your body, and it's going to be harder to recover from, and it's going to be a big bag of water full of cortisol. So when I trained my heaviest, not that I was ever that good, but I had like a 400 bench and like maybe 450 squat along those lines. But I looked like crap. Like, I was always inflamed, I was always tired, my joints hurt, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So, it wasn't until I started actually targeting and doing more isolation movements that my physique got somewhat better, okay? That brings me to the next point. Tension and frequency dictate your gains. Okay, that's a big one. Tension and frequency dictate your gains, not intensity. because they're mutually exclusive. So if you go all out, hyper caffeinated, God knows, like painkillers, and I mean, some people take D-bol before the workout, you're not going to be able to do that all that often. But if you have a very targeted approach as to this muscle, that's what I'm going to hit, and I'm going to just, work those sets really, really well, you're probably going to come ahead at the end, as opposed to just hammering it and then being so that you can't train for 3 days. So, in recap, misguided effort will accomplish nothing. Targeted effort, that's a good thing. Accepting that there's a learning curve and accepting wherever you are on this learning curve and striving for mastery, getting your black belt in bodybuilding, that's what's going to keep you out of injuries and it's going to get you the greatest gains. Okay, Mike out.